Hi, it's me again. Um, I first want to say thank you for everyone's comments and support. I didn't think that I would get such a warm welcome from everyone, so it really warms my heart. Thank you so much. It really means a lot to me. All of your comments, your nice comments, um, just really made me smile, and it made me feel really good, and I have you guys to thank for that. So thank you again from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. Um, I know that you guys have some questions, so I just wanted to answer those questions for you. I hope that I'm not forgetting anyone or anyone's questions, but I did write down some notes. So here we are. I'm going to answer some questions for you. Again, if you guys have any other questions, I I have no problem answering anything. Just leave it in the comments, and I will try to get the best. I'll try to do the best that I can on answering everything. Okay, so one of you asked, are you a full time mom or four or three at the moment? So, right now, I am a full time mom. I have four children. I have my oldest daughter will be 18 next week. Crazy. And then I have a son that's 15. I have another son who is who is 5, and then my youngest will be 2 in May. And it's um, it's kind of funny because with our biological dad, um, he had so when they Caleb did the research, he is one of I think 7 kids, 6 or 7 kids, and um, there were like 5 sisters, and he was the only boy. So I thought it was kind of weird because so far I have Alex, Brendan, Albert, Sean, Paul, 5 brothers, and I'm the only girl. So, and then, with me having my own children, I have one girl and then I have 3 boys. So, is it, I don't know, it's just crazy. Um, Not that I'm going to have any more kids, but if I did, I think I would probably have another boy because, that's just my luck. Okay, so I do stay home for now. I am going to school. I do online school, and I am in the process of getting my master's in social work. So I will be, after my licensure and getting hours and stuff, I can be a licensed clinical social worker. So in more or less terms, I'm going to be a therapist. So I graduate in May. Yay! I'm so excited. It's been a long road, a long, stressful road. It's stressful on my kids. It's stressful on my husband. It's stressful on me. It's just kind of trying to manage everything, being a wife and being a mom and juggling all of that alongside with school and you know, trying to make sure dinner's made and taking my kids to karate or taking my son to wrestling or, making sure I spend enough time with my daughter before she goes to college. And then, my youngest one still nurses. So I just feel like I'm being pulled in so many directions. And I know that there are so many of us moms who can relate to that, right? Um, so after I graduate, then my plan is to work towards my licensure hours and get licensed as a therapist. Hopefully, that can happen eventually, but I'll keep you guys updated. Also, I know that a couple of you mentioned my audio is a little bit low. I think that's just my voice. I just kind of speak a little bit on the lower side. So I'm trying to do better to make sure you guys hear me okay and make sure that I sound okay. But that was my first video, so thank you guys for being really patient with me. Okay, the next question is, when did you move to the US and have you been back to the Philippines since? Yes, so I moved to the United States when I was 9. I was born in the Philippines. I'm from a little town called Arayat, Pampanga, and I moved there. I moved to Oklahoma. That's where my dad is from. So we moved to Oklahoma when I was 9 years old. I went to school in Oklahoma. I didn't speak hardly any English. So English is not my second language, or English is my second language. But you can't tell, right? Because I don't really have an accent. And I feel like most Filipinos are known to have an accent. Like I can always tell when there's a Filipino here or a Filipino there because I recognize the accent. You know, they sound like my mom. Um, so I moved here when I was 9, and then we would go back. So we would go to school here in the States, and then we would go back to where my mom is from and be there all summer. So we kind of did that for a while, and then when I was 11, we stayed there for a little bit. We stayed there for like a year. One of my siblings was born, the youngest of the family, and when they were about 6 months old, we moved back to the States. And we did the back and forth thing for a while, going to school here and then going there for the summer. My grandma lived there, so we wanted to spend time with her. And, you know, that's just home for my mom. And it was home for me. So we did a lot of time over there. And let's see. The last time I went back was we went for vacation. We were there right before my 5-year-old was born. So January of 2019 is the last time we were there, and we went to Bohol, we went to Cebu, we did all of the things. We swam with a whale shark, like we saw the chocolate hills. Oh my gosh, we had so much fun. We did zip lining, we did the banana boat. We loved it. We had a blast. And my kids enjoyed it too. That was the second time my husband has been to the Philippines, and he had so much fun. He loved it. Like we went to the club and he was dancing. Like he had a blast. Okay, so the next question: your mom married an American, and that's why you all moved to America. Yes, my mom married an American man, and he was originally from Oklahoma, so his family was in Oklahoma. So when we moved here, that's where we moved to, was Oklahoma, because you know his mom was living in Oklahoma at the time. Okay, the next one: how many siblings do you have with your mom? So there are 3 of us all together. I'm the oldest, and I have 2 brothers younger than me. So it's me, and then my next brother is 30, 33, 34, and then the youngest one is 25. Okay, the next question: do you plan on telling your dad? My father that I grew up with, we're just going to refer to him as my dad, because to me, he is my dad. You know, he was there for me through everything. You know, he raised me, he provided for me, he helped me with my homework, he helped me with English. Like, I mean, he was there when I got married. You know, he was there for everything. You know, he's just always been there. He's helped take care of my kids. Like, my dad's awesome. He's amazing. I wouldn't change it for the world. Like, I know that he's not my biological dad, but you don't need to have blood. You know, you don't need to be related by blood to share that connection with someone. And my dad was good to me. My dad, I don't think I've ever heard my dad raise his voice at me or my mom, you know, or any of his kids. I don't think I've ever heard my dad say a cuss word. My dad has no like he doesn't gamble, he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke. Like he has no bad habits. So, you know, he's awesome. I wouldn't trade him for anything. Okay, next question. Do you plan on confronting or meeting with your bio dad? I don't, to be honest. You know, processing all of this, when I first found out, I kind of just sat in silence for a while because I didn't know what to think, you know, and like I said in my last video, I almost felt like my life was built on a lie, you know, even though I love my dad, even though I wouldn't trade having him as my dad for my bio dad, it still doesn't change the the human nature of just being curious, right? Just it's our nature to be curious and to question where are we from and our background and our history and just all of these things. So I think because I did grow up with a father in my life, I don't I don't have that need to find out about this guy, you know. Um, and a part of it is I don't want to hurt my dad. You know, I feel like if I did that, I would somehow be betraying him. And I don't want to do that to him. You know, he's been there for me through everything, and I just wouldn't want to do that. The other reason is I have a fear of rejection, if I'm being completely honest. And I don't like even thinking that I'm going to be rejected. So when Alex and Paul and Brendan, you know, mentioned that our bio dad would possibly be not welcoming, I don't know. I don't have a good feeling about it. It's not something that I want to pursue. I don't feel like I want to put myself out there just to get my feelings hurt. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I don't plan on talking to him. I mean, if he wanted to have a relationship with me, would I accept it? Absolutely. Absolutely. I would welcome him with open arms, you know, just as I have with my brothers. And I would have no problem with it. I would, you know, I would, yeah, he could be in my life, but coming from me, it would not come from me. All right, next question. In the family you grew up in, were you the eldest child? Yes, I am. And did the father you thought was your father take you in as his own? Yes, he did. And it says knowing, so I'm guessing like did he know about me not being his? I don't think so. I don't think he knows. And that's kind of why I'm hesitant to tell him. I don't want to hurt his feelings. My dad is 85 years old and he has some heart conditions, and last year around this time he had a couple mini strokes and he had to have stents put in his heart. So I don't want to be the reason that he, you know, might have a heart attack and die. Like I don't want to do I don't want to do that to him. I don't want to break his heart and something happens. I would never forgive myself. So I don't think he knows, and I don't plan on telling him. The next question is, did your mother have an affair? She absolutely did. She absolutely did. So her and my dad, I didn't meet my dad until like physically. I think he knew about me when my mom was pregnant, but he didn't meet me until I was 2. And I think they got married when I was 2 or 3. So there's a little bit of a gap between then, and I don't know how many men my mom was seeing at the time. I don't know, you know, but they were not married. My mom and my dad were not married when I came along, when she got pregnant with me, she, I'm guessing she just maybe had a little bit too much fun. I don't want to say anything bad about her. It's all in the past. At the end of the day, I'm grateful, that I'm here. I'm grateful that my dad accepted me, as his own and raised me as his own. And I guess we can talk about, how I grew up maybe in my next video, but I just wanted to address these questions. And if you guys, again, if you have any other questions, don't hesitate to leave them in the comments, and I'll try to get to them the best that I can. And the next video I want to do is maybe giving you guys a little bit of a history about me. And, I know that I answered some of that in this video, but just so you guys kind of have a brief overview of how I grew up. And, I know that Albert didn't have a very, his lifestyle was not lavish whatsoever. And I think, when, especially Filipinos, when they see someone in the United States, it's almost like, oh yeah, you have this great life, you live in America, and I just want you guys to know the history and everything that I've been through to get to where I am. And I'm being very open and very vulnerable. I'm a very private person, so for me to share my story with you is a big deal for me. So I hope you guys can be kind and know that, allow me to share my history with you, my story, my journey, however we want to call it. But I do want to say that although this was not the path that I thought my life would take, I am grateful to have met, 3 out of the 4 brothers that I have. I really wish I could have met Sean. I still haven't talked to Paul yet, so I'm looking forward to talking to Paul. But we did talk on my birthday. I did get my birthday wish. And they sang to me happy birthday, and it was awesome. I loved it. So yeah, I hope that you guys keep following my story, and don't hesitate to share it. I'm hoping that I can help someone out there. I'm hoping that I can give someone some encouragement, and maybe someone who's going through what I'm going through, and know that you're not alone, and know that I know what that feels like, and I'm here if you want to talk. I am open to all the questions. And thank you guys for all of the ones that said I'm so pretty. That means, oh my gosh, that was super sweet. Thank you guys. Okay, well, I will end it here, and hopefully you guys like this video as much as my last one. All right, bye.